Hello, everyone. Today I will be talking about the Treaty of Versailles and how it helped cause World War II. The Treaty of Versailles was signed on June 28, 1919, after World War I. It was supposed to create lasting peace, but instead, it planted seeds for an even bigger conflict. The treaty punished Germany very harshly by taking away land, damaging its economy, and limiting its military strength. These harsh terms created anger among the German people and gave Adolf Hitler the support he needed to rise to power. Instead of stopping future wars, the treaty helped start another one. When the Allies leaders met at the Paris Peace Conference, each one of them had their own goals. President Woodrow Wilson from the United States pushed for his 14th point, which focused on peace, cooperation, and national self-determination. He wanted to build a better, more stable world. However, the French Prime Minister, Georges Clemenceau, had a much different idea. France wanted revenge and safety. After all the damage Germany had caused France during the war, Clemenceau wanted to punish Germany severely. Britain, led by Prime Minister David Lloyd George, tried to find a middle ground. He agreed that Germany needed to be punished, but he also didn't want Germany to be so weak that it would drag down the entire European economy. In the end, the treaty mainly reflected the desire to punish Germany. Germany lost 13% of its land, including many important areas like the Saar Basin and Upper Silesia that were key for coal and steel production. They also lost the Polish corridor, which separated the part of Germany from the rest of the country. This severely hurt their economy and separated millions of Germans from their homeland. According to the U.S. Holocaust Memorial Museum, Germany lost around 6.5 to 7 million citizens due to these changes. On top of this, Germany was forced to pay huge reparations, about 200 million gold marks. These payments crushed the German economy and caused major suffering for everyday Germans. Inflation skyrocketed, and people lost their savings. This made German people angry and desperate for change. The treaty also destroyed Germany's military. They could only have an army of 100,000 men. They were banned from having tanks, submarines, and military planes. Plus, the Rhineland, they were right next to France, had to be completely demilitarized. For once a proud military nation like Germany, this was incredibly humiliating. The German people felt betrayed and humiliated. Many believed the stabbed in the back myth, the false idea that Germany had been betrayed by Jews, communists, and other groups back home, and they weren't actually defeated in battle. This myth, combined with their economic suffering and hatred of the treaty, destroyed their trust in the Weimar Republic, Germany's new democratic government. As a result, groups like Hitler's Nazi Party gained more and more followers. Hitler promised to tear up the treaty, rebuild the military, and restore Germany's honor. He knew exactly how to tap into the anger and resentments that the Germans felt. Once Hitler took power, he began to openly break the treaty's terms. He brought back the draft, tanks, airplanes, and he sent troops into the Rhineland, all in direct violation of the treaty, and all without any serious repercussions from Britain or France. This showed that the treaty was powerless without anyone there to enforce it. The League of Nations, which was supposed to keep peace in Europe and enforce the treaty, was completely ineffective. First, the United States, the country that had pushed so hard for the League, never joined. The Senate failed to ratify it. Second, the League had no army of its own, and it could only act if all the members of the League agreed, which is very rare to happen. When Hitler annexed Austria and demanded the Sudetenland from Czechoslovakia, the Allies responded with appeasement, giving him the land, but they made him sign a paper that said, "Can't take any more." This little consequence did not do much. They hoped by doing this, giving Hitler what he wanted, he would stop. But of course, it's Hitler. He did not. Each time the Allies backed down, Hitler became more confident. Finally, when Hitler invaded Poland in 1939, Britain and France realized too late that appeasement had failed, and World War II officially began. In the end, the Treaty of Versailles didn't prevent war, it helped cause it. By crushing Germany's economy and humiliating its people and creating political instability, it opened the door for Hitler to rise. The Allies' failure to support the treaty gave him freedom to rebuild Germany's military and pursue his aggressive plans. If the treaty had been fair, If it had been properly enforced, World War II could have been avoided. But because of poor leadership, harsh punishment, and inaction by the Allies, history took a much darker path. Thank you.